Hello, in this video, I'm going to summarize one of the courses in the sixth semester of LSPR Management Study Program, that is Integrated Marketing Communications, or IMC. So IMC, Marketing Communications Integrated. Why? IMC is a strategic approach where we integrate all marketing communications tools used to communicate a brand's message, such as advertising, personal selling, sales promotions, events, and many other forms of communication we can use to build awareness, which will be discussed later, and even public relations to build an image. Packaging, specialties, guerrilla marketing, word of mouth, customer service are all part of marketing communications. We integrate them into single cohesive IMC plan to deliver consistent messages to consumers across all media or marketing channels that the brand uses to reach its target audience. Dua kalimat, empat kata, one voice, one look. That is what IMC is all about, creating a consistent message. That is the main purpose of IMC. That is the main goal, synergy. Now, why should we implement IMC? Because message and image consistency across all those channels help us reinforce our brand identity, increase brand awareness, increase engagement, and build trust with customers, and ultimately drive sales, optimizing our return on investment. So IMC can help us achieve our business goals. It can help build brand equity and create greater sales impact. If that sounds like what you want, you should start developing an IMC plan. Here is an outline of what an IMC plan looks like. Background research is actually compiled before the situation analysis. It's about the industry, the market, the products, the brand. I'm just going to streamline everything to what was more emphasized in this IMC class, since this is supposed to be a summary. Situation analysis with what? If you're a businessman, this should already be a familiar concept. Basically, it's where we analyze strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats of our business. Then there's TAOs, which takes SWOT analysis one step further to help you take action with your findings. The main purpose of TAOs is to reduce threats, take advantage of opportunities, maximize strengths, and minimize weaknesses. You should also be familiar with STP. So like any business or marketing plan, IMC starts with the customers, who they are, what they do, what interests they have, how much they spend, and then works back to design products and communication, because they are a critical influence on the communicator's decisions on what to say, how, when, where, and to whom. So we first need a clear target audience in mind, our potential customers. The target marketing process. Simply put, the STP, segmenting, targeting, positioning. We can divide our market into demographic, geographic, psychographic, and behavioral segments. Then we target them based on evaluating potential segments. Typically, the ideal segment is one that is actively growing, has high profitability, and has a low cost of acquisition. Is it a mass market, niche? We can determine how many segments to enter, which segments offer the most potential. Our target is the specific group of consumers most likely to want our product or service, and therefore the people who should see our message, the people we should reach, the people we should target, the people the message is designed for. Then we position our brand, differentiate them from its competitor. We can decide how target market perceive our offer related to competing offers. We can decide the image our target audience has regarding our brand as compared to our competitors, indirectly giving them the reasons why they should choose our brand over the others. Then what are our communication objectives? We should determine what should we design our communications for, whether it's for our brand awareness and recognition, be on top of mind, or to stimulate interest and purchase. I mean, the functions of marketing communications are to inform, to persuade, remind, build relationships. So we can target consumers at different stages. They're aware, but they don't know much more. Knowledge. They don't know the brand, but do they like it? Liking. They might like the product, but not prefer it to others. Build preference. They might prefer a particular product, but they might not buy it. Conviction. That's more or less how you decide. And we could have multiple objectives. For example, if we use this model, one brand could have perception objectives, emotion objectives, cognition objectives, association objectives, persuasion objectives, and behavior objectives. After determining the objectives, we design the communications. Three approaches to this: message strategy, creative strategy, and message source. In a message strategy, marketers must make decisions regarding the content as well as the structure and design of the messages they send to consumers. Content refers to what message is contained. Structure and design is the way the message is put together. For example, we can play with the order of presentation and putting the strongest arguments at the beginning of the message for a primacy effect, more effective, or putting the strong points at the end for a recency effect, more persuasive, more conclusive. We can decide whether to give just the positive points or both the good and bad. It depends on our communication objectives. We can also decide on the verbal and visual portions of our ad because they do influence the way the message is processed. Now, for creative strategy, creativity tends to give a greater appeal, either to the logical aspect of the consumer's decision-making process or feelings to evoke some emotional reaction. The common types are comparative advertising, fear, and humor. Last but not least, the message source. Who delivers the message? Characteristics of the source affect the message, like their credibility, attractiveness, and power. The next step is to select the channels. There are two main types, personal and non-personal communication channels. Personal communications channel means personalized or customized communication in person, face-to-face, or through phone, mail, or email. So this includes direct marketing, personal selling, word of mouth. And non-personal or mass communications channels means communication to a lot of people. So this includes advertising, sales promotions, events, and PR. Then budgeting. Let me just give you an example. Just a rate card with a 20% increase will affect our budget for marketing communication. So there are two common ways for us to budget based on sales we will produce or just the typical IMC objectives, which are usually more intangible but still measurable. And finally, the media or marketing communication mix. As I already mentioned, there are many, all of which will be discussed later. Lastly, after implementing the IMC program, you must measure its impact, its effectiveness. We want to know if we get our return on investment. For example, we can evaluate our digital media marketing by looking at the engagement, the likes, comments, shares, the visits, the reach. Depends on our goal. Now, let's talk more about our tools in the IMC mix. First, advertising. One of the mass communications. We all have seen ads throughout our lives. We know an ad when we see one. Nowadays, it's everywhere, every time. It reaches a wide audience to connect with our audience. There's this concept called the means-end chain, where ads should contain message or means that leads the consumer to a desired end state, basically a deeper meaning. So we link our product attributes to its benefits to consumers, which would lead the consumer to a desired end state, which would be their needs at any level. Often it's their personal values. For example, the product attribute of photo is linked to the benefit of being healthy, and the personal values the consumer obtains from healthy may be feeling wise for using the product or a healthy life. This highlights the use of means-end chain. Then, just like how we determine our communication objectives, we can use different strategies to get different consumer responses. Now, there are many different frameworks on how we execute our advertising. Animation executions, slice of life executions, testimonial executions, authoritative executions, demonstration executions, and fantasy executions. And of course, like I've already mentioned, we can select our source or spokesperson for our ads. As you've seen, they're very important. We should also select the appropriate media by understanding the behavior of our target market. A tagline in an ad should be something memorable, something special, something unique of the brand. Seeing a specific message repeatedly helps embed a brand into a person's long-term memory. So the consistent message that IMC is creating will put our brand on the map, their map. And visual consistency becomes very important because most people spend little time viewing ads and now have increasingly shorter attention span watching videos. And we should think about the length or duration of a campaign. We can only use the same ad for an appropriate period of time before people get bored of it, no matter how good it is. Now, let's talk about another IMC tool that is digital marketing. It combines the components of e-commerce, internet marketing, and mobile marketing, which we'll discuss shortly after this. It includes anything with a digital footprint. So why is digital and mobile marketing important? There's a big change in consumers' shopping patterns. For instance, shopping locations and time. A lot of people prefer to shop online and brands are available online, whether on an e-commerce site, official website, or mobile app. This shift in shopping on your mobile phone, the whole purchase decision process, product research, access to discounts and coupons, that affects our approach to IMC. Here are some characteristics of successful e-commerce sites. It should have a search optimized design, customer centric design, mobile optimized design, consistent customer experience when they access websites across all devices. And like IMC, a successful e-commerce site should have channel integration. If your store has a printed catalog, it should match all catalog versions. You create opportunities for brand engagement and customer interaction. Shopping cart abandonment strategies. And lastly, e-commerce incentives. Anything that brings people to the website. Common forms are financial incentives, convenience incentives, value-added incentives. Now, let's talk about mobile marketing. As the name suggests, it's designed to reach consumers on all kinds of mobile devices. These days, people can spend more time on their smartphones and tablets, especially the younger demographic. So think of the apps, websites, emails, text messaging, social media. The movement from desktop computers to laptops, tablets, and smartphones has led us all to adapt to multi-screen formats. So what are the other digital strategies? Well, there's interactive marketing, content marketing, native advertising, location-based advertising, remarketing. If I look at shoes on a marketplace, it's going to pop up again somewhere. And behavioral targeting, similar to remarketing, only that it uses our data to pop up suggestions we might like. Blogs and newsletters, usually on a website about the company. And then the email marketing. In addition to digital marketing, I would also like to mention offline advertising, like billboard. Then there's social media marketing, of course. Everybody uses it. Many reasons to implement it. Mainly, it's to stay engaged with customers and increase brand exposure. There are many social media strategies. There are content seeding, real-time marketing, video marketing, influencer marketing, viral marketing, interactive blogs, and consumer-generated reviews. Then there's direct marketing. It's one of the personal communications. It's when we directly communicate an offer to a pre-selected customer and supply a method for a direct response, which means it requires a database. Very important for direct marketing. Here are the different ways we can use direct marketing to our consumers. Contacting them via mobile device, emails, catalogs, direct mail, telemarketing, radio and TV, care lines, inserts, the internet, digital media, print, door to door. Next is personal selling. Yes, selling. It's part of IMC. And of course, it's also a customized communication, selling one-to-one to potential buyers. It's very effective in building up buyer preference, conviction, and action. Speaking of sales, next up are sales promotions. Sales promotions help us achieve sales and marketing objectives. Sales promotions are split into two: consumer promotions and trade promotions. Basically, B2C and B2B. Types of consumer promotions. Coupons. They take many forms, physical or digital, all to offer price reduction. Sampling. You never know if you'd never try. Sweepstakes, games, and contests. A fun and interesting way to win the heart of our customers. Premiums. If you like it, you'd want more of it, even if it means spending more. And then loyalty and loading devices like bonus packs. It makes people happy and even more satisfied with their purchase. Price offs, which is a temporary price reduction. There are some pros and cons to this. Number one, yes, it stimulates sales, but it's not exactly good for profit. It's bad for your image, and your customers will be more sensitive to prices. They wouldn't buy your products unless they have discounts. Lastly, refunds and rebates is also a consumer promotion. Now, what are the types of trade promotions? First, trade allowance, done to increase purchases of invoice allowance, slotting fees, exit fees. Second, trade contests. It's done to achieve sales targets and other objectives. The contests are held at every level within the channel. They can be between brokers or agents, wholesalers, or retail stores. Winners usually get prizes or cash or split money. Third, trade incentives, which are similar to trade allowances, only different. Lastly, trade shows, sponsorships, events, and experiences. What are the difference between sponsorships and events? Well, typically when you sponsor an event, that's sponsorship. The sponsor and the sponsored have to be associated. That's why sports sponsorships are very common. On the other hand, Examples of events marketing is product launching events, a pop-up store, or an experiential and interactive marketing events, community events or workshops. You get the idea. Last but not least, PR. That's the name of the school, so I should know about this. Marketers tend to underuse PR and publicity. Building an image is also the goal of IMC, right? PR can tell the story behind a company, brand, product. Who doesn't want to be on the news, in the papers? Making it to the headlines has a very positive impact on our company as long as we're there for a good reason. With PR, we must know both our internal and external stakeholders, assess our reputation, create and build a positive image because that's the goal of PR, be involved in CSR for an even more positive image, and maintain our image, our reputation, and damage control. Okay, that's all. Thanks for watching.